great day, and in true form, we love to get wild here on Mondays with the Academy of Wildlife Education. So we're sending over to Lou with Ron. And what's happening, guys?
We are here with Ron from the Academy of Wildlife Education at Merle Hay Mall. The mall is open. They're going to be open. And that's what we're talking about, things that are wild. And this, you are correct. I saw Ron in the hallway. He goes, I have one of your favorites. And I go, what, a skunk? He goes, nope. Had to be a raccoon. I had a raccoon growing up. Susie was her name, and we cared for her. And then a couple of abandoned raccoons whose mother was hit by cars. We nursed them back to health, let them go again once they got up to. We lived near a forest preserve, growing up in the city. And these are one of the most fascinating creatures on the planet because of their antics.
Right. I mean, they've got the bandit's mask for a reason, and it fits their personality. Obviously, this is a raccoon. Good and bad. I mean, raccoons definitely have their place in an ecosystem, but it's baby animal season. A lot of people see baby raccoons. Irresistible, gotta have, but they do grow up.
They do. So, and when we first had a raccoon, this is when I was in grammar school, we knew, or high school actually, we knew that after a short period of time that the animal is a wild animal. We knew this, and we just cared for the animal till it got large, about the size of Ricky, right?
Well, yeah, right. And again, that's the thing is they do grow up, and typically what happens is people will find baby raccoons, or mom gets hit, cut down a tree, baby raccoons, and they think they can care for them and keep them. And then, you're right, when they get about Ricky's age, we get the phone call because at this age they're destroying the house, turning on the faucets, just going crazy, and they want to know what to do with the raccoon. And then now we've got to relocate it. The problem is that it's been imprinted to people,
so it knows,
versus being imprinted to mom and learning how to be wild, and that causes all types of problems. So the big key is, yeah, they're cute, and yeah, they look like they'd be fun to have around, but they are a wild animal, and to leave them alone, especially if mom's around. I had a situation where I had about 1 o'clock in the morning, heard a baby crying on my doorstep, opened it up, and there's a baby raccoon right there. Initial response is, oh, you need my help. No, I shut the door and let mom come and get it.
Okay.
But those are the types of things, you know, showing some video now, some baby raccoons. You have a doggy door.
Using a dog door.
Hey, these guys are smart, and it doesn't take them long to figure out how to use devices. They can get into refrigerators, they can turn on faucets.
Yeah, their paws are more like a hand than, you know, any other animal of their type. It's almost monkey-like. It's what it reminds me of, but it's not quite.
Right, they're the closest thing to a primate that I want to work with. They're very dexterous as far as their fingers go and their hands, and they're very sensitive with their paws. They will forage in water, and people think they're washing their food. They're not. It's just a foraging behavior. They look for crustaceans and stuff. But again, yeah, they use their paws to feel for things, and by texture, they can find it and take off. Here they are running out of the house with the pizza that they found. But when you start conditioning animals like this, it starts to cause problems. And you know, those raccoons are going to grow up.
You know, when we had ours, just so people don't get bent out of shape, we didn't have Susie in the house. She stayed outside, and we did feed her, you know, items that she would have to catch minnows.
Right.
She was going to be released in a short period of time, so she had to be able to get her food, which she did, and she hung around too. Right. Look at this.
This is what happens when you start feeding a lot of raccoons. So it's just a matter of time. One raccoon will go tell his buddies, and they go tell their buddies.
They all have cell phones now.
Absolutely. With social media, this is the ultimate problem, and this happens when people start to feed raccoons, especially out your back door at night. Yeah, you could wake up and
what are they throwing out? Cheetos?
Looks like Cheetos is what they're tossing out to these raccoons and stuff. And again, this isn't safe either, because if the raccoons start to fight amongst themselves, they don't know who you are. They could see you as potentially part of the problem, especially if you run out of food. They're still hungry. Obviously, they're not going to have enough food there to satisfy everybody.
Look at them all coming out of the woods
They're coming out of the woods. They think, and again, it's all because of conditioning that people have done. Those are wild. They're not tame. They're not imprinted. They're just accustomed to people showing up and feeding them, and people thinking this is cute. and this can be a huge, huge problem.
And yeah, they really do look cuddly. Their fur is incredible. It's incredibly thick and luxurious. But again, that's for their protection. It's for their comfort.
They're a fur-bearing animal for a reason. They have to go through the winter months and stuff, and so they put on the weight, they pack on the poundage, and that's what these raccoons are doing now. Is they're eating food to, fur up and get ready for those winter months when they don't have as much food. Here you have a situation to where people are leaving cat food out for their cats, and a raccoon's found it. This is a female mother. She's nursing.
Looks like it, yeah. She's a little skinny.
Right, and you can tell that it's definitely a mom. And this is what she's going to do to these cats, and this is a bad situation because they can spread disease back and forth. And so again, here comes the raccoon. They leave the food out for it. They think this is all cute. Looks fun, but it's just going to cause more problems, and this is a situation you don't want to have happen.
Because they are mean creatures. When the one we had was a small, what do they call small raccoons? Kits?
Yeah,
and
cubs, yeah.
It beat up a full-grown German Shepherd that decided it was going to attack it, and that's how feisty these animals are, and how ferocious they can be.
Well, this is a typical situation. The raccoon is eating the food because the food is available. If the cats are there and there's no food, that raccoon could be eating those cats. So it's one of those situations to where this is not a good scenario. You definitely want to feed your cats indoors.
Well, look, grab a handful and
run off. Yeah, and again, that's just raccoon behavior.
Wow.
Again, this is Ricky. He is nowhere near a wild raccoon. He's totally imprinted to us. That's why we can work with him. That's why we bring him out to do educational programs, so people can see it. And if you want to get close to these animals, that's why we have our facility. Right, you'll get all you want as far as an opportunity to see it, to understand it, and appreciate it for what it does. And so again, raccoons are great for mice, rats, raccoons, small mammals, reptiles, amphibians, fish.
Now, what if somebody? There's some people out there watching now say, "Well, what if I want to feed the raccoons? What if I want to help them? What's your suggestion?"
Well, again, animals don't need our help, especially the wild ones. We had a situation at the mall this weekend where a wood duck was bringing her ducklings through the parking lot, and people were calling everybody saying that they need to be rescued. Well, Mama Duck knows where she's going, and if we pick them up and move them to another location, it's out of their territory. Now you put them in a stressful situation. They may not, or they're going to do everything they can to get back to their territory, which could cause more problem than good. Leave it alone. The only time we want to get involved is if people got involved, like if somebody ran over the mom. Those babies are going to need, they're orphaned, they need help. Right, we take them to wildlife rehab to get it done. And there's ways we do it. We don't imprint them. We use a lot of puppetry. We just don't let them imprint to people. We actually want them to be afraid of people. And so there could be situations during the rehab process to where, we just make sure that they have a negative attitude towards humans so that they will always run away from us when they see us.
Which it sounds cruel, it sounds mean, but that's what you have to do.
Again, wild animals are wild for a reason. They're to be appreciated from a distance. But again, you come to the academy, we'll teach you everything you need to know about raccoons and their purpose. And again, he's been with us for a long time, and he'll be with us his entire life. So he's behaving really well, so he's a good raccoon.
Good boy.
Yeah,
all right. So if you want to see these animals up close, don't have them come up close on your deck at home. Go to the Academy of Wildlife Education over at Merle Hay Mall. Your hours, sir?
Anytime the mall's open, basically from 10 to 9 Monday through Saturday, and then noon to 5:30 on Sundays. Wildlife programs on the weekends every hour, on the odd hours during the weekdays. We've got some new animals coming in this summer, so it'll be an exciting time, and once they arrive, we'll bring them here.
All right, great job, man.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
as always.
Always.
We'll be right back. You're watching Great Day.